G'day everyone, welcome to the video. In this one I'm going to talk a little bit about if you are looking to hire outside of your country or in somewhere in Asia, what are the places, the countries that you may look to hire staff to outsource functions of your business to. We'll also discuss why you may want to consider looking to the east to hire staff, and then we'll go through and look at various countries in Asia that will be suitable for certain types of hires depending on what you're looking for. My name's Aaron, I'm from Offshore in Asia. We help people move, do business and invest out in Asia. So if you're interested in any of this kind of stuff, head over to offshoreinasia.com, have a look around. We might have some stuff there that can help you with what you want to do. So why would you want to hire in Asia? One of the main reasons that people will first think about hiring in Asia or Southeast Asia is for the low cost to employ someone there. You can employ someone for a lot lower than it's going to cost you in most Western countries. Another reason is that there can be a slightly different work ethic in Asia, particularly when times are good in the West. There can be, not saying this is always the case, it's certainly not always the case, but there can be a little bit of a sense of entitlement. People are aware that the jobs market is strong and they can hop from job to job, so they may not be so loyal to your business. This happened a lot in the last couple of years. It was really hard to hire good talent and have them stick around. And we've heard this firsthand from a lot of businesses that we work with in Asia who are looking to hire in Asia. It just has been really hard to find loyal staff in the West, so they're looking elsewhere and looking to save some money while they're at it. The fact that many of these big Western countries are kind of welfare states in comparison to a lot of countries in the East, in Asia, there is a much larger safety net in the West. People know that if they don't like the job, they can quit and then the government will take care of them. That doesn't happen so much in the East. It's more, it's up to you to go out and make your money. There is more emphasis on doing a good job and keeping your job because you need your job. That creates a more loyal employee, and that is a trait that a business owner will definitely look to if they're having trouble hiring good talent in the West. Now, depending on where you're doing business, you may want to have staff that are just more familiar with certain markets in Asia. If you're looking to expand, if you're looking to get access to certain parts of Asia, or if you have investments out in Asia, it does make sense to have people on your team who not only speak good English, but also who are familiar with the way business is done in Asia. That's more of an operational reason for how you can benefit by having staff in the East who understand how work is done in the West as well. Now, what do you need to consider when you're looking to hire in Asia? It all sounds great on paper, but anyone who's actually tried to do it will know that it's not always as easy as it seems. There may be a lot of training involved. There may be like a cultural barriers that make it hard to understand each other in a business context. It's not always the case, but it can be. You do have to manage things a little bit more from that perspective. And I'll just make a quick plug to a new service that we are rolling out. If you want access to some of the people that we use in Asia, if you don't want to go through the hassle of trying to find people, if you don't want to go through the hassle of managing people, we can help you to do all this. We hire staff in Asia ourselves, so if you want assistance in hiring, or even if you want access to some of the people that we use, we can offer this service to you. Now, depending on where you want to focus your hiring depends on what you're looking for in your business. What kind of staff do you want? Are they a low level, mid level, high level? What position are you looking to fill? Some of these things will, depending on what you're looking for, will direct you towards a certain country. What level is your business at? Are you on a shoestring budget trying to get things off the ground before the business becomes more viable? So then in that case, cost control will be a lot more important to you. Or if you're a bit more established, you may want to go up the chain a little bit to more of a mid to high level country. This may become more important if you need someone who's familiar working with big clients where big money is involved. That is also going to potentially change which country you look to hire in. You're going to find a higher level of skill in somewhere like Singapore than you would in somewhere like the Philippines. Not saying that the Philippines is a low skill level, but Singapore, the people who work in Singapore are world class, but it comes with a price tag. So let's have a look at some of the countries you might be focusing on hiring out of for your particular circumstance. So if you are just starting out and cost control is important, if you want bang for your buck, it is very hard to go past the Philippines. The Philippines is a relatively low income country. It's very cheap to hire people and pay people well by Filipino standards and get massive cost savings compared to what you're used to paying in the West. There is very good levels of English in the Philippines, particularly in the university educated population, and these will be most of the people that you will be hiring from, people who have gone to university and are well educated, and these people tend to have pretty good English as well. And the Philippines is an established business process outsourcing hub. It's one of the biggest BPO hubs in the world. India is another big one, but Philippines is used by a lot of countries all around the world. They are very familiar with working with the US, with Australia, all English-speaking countries. They understand the US culture. The country was under US control for a period of time. There are still, United States Army bases here, personnel based here. They're very familiar with the American culture in general, but more importantly, the work culture. And people are already out here, big companies are already out here. If you walk down IT Park in Cebu City, you'll see there is a very modern building, a big building with a big JP Morgan sign on it. A massive American bank with a pretty strong presence in the Philippines. And people here, they handle a lot of the back office operations, call center, other admin work. A lot of them work night shifts, so they're in alignment with the time zone in the US. There already is a lot going on here as far as people working for Western-based countries. So that makes it a lot easier to find people who will be comfortable working with you as a Westerner. Our experience working with people in the Philippines has been that they are very loyal, they are very hardworking, eager to please, and they want to keep the boss happy. As long as you treat them good, you pay them a decent wage, which is very easy to do, they will be good to you, they will be loyal, and they will put in the hard work required to keep the job. As I mentioned at the top of the video, that sort of loyalty trait can be a little bit harder to find in the West, particularly when unemployment rates are so low in the West. If you're looking for a virtual assistant, anyone working in admin, marketing, web and SEO, even accountants, the Philippines can be really good for this stuff. And again, if you want help sourcing people to work in your business, we can help you to do that. Next, if you're looking for a bit more of a mid-range hire, if you want to spend a bit more and get a bit of a different, benefits for the money you're spending, the next place I would look at is Malaysia. Malaysia, it's a former British colony. They have, again, very high levels of English and a pretty highly educated workforce. Being a former British colony, they are familiar with the legal system, they're familiar with Western values, and they're familiar with Western culture. They really just get us a lot more than some other countries, in particular when you come from Thailand, and that Thailand shares a border with Malaysia, but then when you go down to Malaysia, it's chalk and cheese how much better the English is and how much better they just understand us, cultural references. It certainly doesn't feel as east, I guess, as Thailand does. Malaysia will cost you more than the Philippines. It is a middle income country, but you get a different benefit there. The big plus of Malaysia is that it borders Singapore, and Singapore did used to be part of Malaysia back in the day. And a lot of people who work in Singapore actually live in Malaysia, in JB, Johor Bahru, and they'll commute over to Singapore every day and then go back to Malaysia just because it's a lot cheaper to live in Malaysia. There's people in Malaysia who are familiar with working in Singapore, being a world-class business center that you can get access to in Malaysia for a lot cheaper than it would cost you to hire directly in Singapore. So we see Malaysia as a really good midpoint for getting access to reasonably high talent without the price tag. Now, if you are a quite established business and you want access to world-class talent, it's pretty hard to go past Singapore. It does come with a cost, but as I said, it is world-class, the talent you can get there. The people that are working in Singapore could get jobs anywhere in any financial center around the world. The English is very strong. They have an extremely efficient work culture. Stuff just gets done there, no mucking around. They have a strong legal system there. They understand the East. They understand the West. So if you're looking to hire in banking, in finance, in web, in crypto, blockchain, kind of technology, any of these more high-level businesses, if you're looking for the world-class talent and you've got the budget to support that, it's pretty hard to go past Singapore to have a really strong presence in Asia. It's hard to talk about Singapore without also mentioning Hong Kong. Hong Kong is also you know, a very, it's a world-class financial center again. Things have certainly changed there, as everyone knows, but it still is a really strong access point, like a bridge between the East and the West, particularly if you are involved in sourcing products or services out of China, if you want access to China, but want to be able to operate out of a financial center or a business center that is used to working with the West. Again, Hong Kong used to be a former British colony, so it's a really good midpoint, like Singapore as well, but Hong Kong is particularly good if you have business operations in China for sourcing product, or if you just want people in your workforce to be able to communicate well with people in mainland China, then Hong Kong would probably be your best bet. It is going to cost you a lot more. Hong Kong is pretty neck and neck with Singapore as far as cost of hiring goes. But that said, again, a lot of the people who work in Singapore have worked in Hong Kong, and they tend to sort of jump between the two depending on which way the tide's going. So you're going to get a pretty similar level of talent, a high level, world-class level of talent in Hong Kong that you can get in Singapore. So there you have it, guys, a pretty quick summary of why you may want to hire in Asia, and then if you do want to hire, which country should you go to source your staff. There are different reasons for why you may want to hire in the East compared to your home country. You don't have to do all of your hiring in the East. You may want to have some staff in Asia where it suits to have staff in Asia, but you may want to have some staff back in your home country as well when it makes more sense to have someone in your home country who, you know, is native to your country in the way you do business there. There's no reason why you can't have staff in these two different parts of the world working together in tandem and providing good benefits to your business. I may be repeating myself here, but we are rolling out an outsourcing service. If you want assistance with consulting on how to hire, where to hire, if you want help hiring and the onboarding process, head over to offshoreinasia.com, send us a message and we can get the ball rolling for you. So you can get people to help you with your business so that you're not tied up doing admin and so forth, and you can concentrate on bringing in the bacon. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. We'll catch you later.